Success is achieved and maintained by those who try and keep trying. W. Clement Stone. My friends, each and every day, 10 to 15 minutes, that is all we ask. Think about it. If you will just spend the time with us mastering these charts, learning the interplay between the Heikin Ashi candlesticks and volume, that is the key to success. Being able to see that interplay and learning what is going on with the market psychology, the investor psychology, the fear and greed that runs through these markets each and every day. And when you can look and see price discovery being sought, look at all the volume there. And again, all the down movement, the volatility on the down move, the small candle, you can see that the up move died here. Look at no volume over those 3 weeks. After all this average volume with price up movement, then it starts to die. The market's checking out a high, another trying to get up to another high. It cannot sustain it because there's no volume. Holidays are coming. Trump is coming into office. All the things the Biden administration was involved in that was killing the economy, that the news media was keeping pumped up, is now coming out, and you can see all this volume as people are dumping and the market is moving down. We have such a great training on volume. I'm going to put it at the end of today's video, and it helps you start to understand the interplay between volume and price. Now, we track price with what? Heikin Ashi candlesticks. Those are the key. Why? Because they're measured differently. They show you, and again, I'm told that Heikin Ashi means average pace in Japanese. It can be interpreted that way. And that is what it shows you, because it takes out the volatility, well, not all the volatility, but it takes out so much of the confusing changes in price and gives you averages. If you will study our training on Heikin Ashi candlesticks that I'll put at the end of tomorrow's video. So today you're going to get volume. Tomorrow you're going to get price. You will start understanding that interplay. And the more you study that and you master that, you learn what things are all about. Have you ever noticed in life that you go to school all those years to learn, to get a degree, to supposedly be able to make money when you go into whatever job it is, and you realize school taught you nothing that you actually need in the job you do? Most people, when they tell you about the stock market, they never teach you anything about actually what's going on. Take an investment class in college. Take it in your MBA program. What did you learn? You learned a lot of school knowledge by people that are making $100,000, $150,000 a year teaching. They teach instead of do. You've got to do. You've got to learn what works. And that's what we teach here. So if you aren't a Patreon member, you need to be one. Why? Because my brand new book is available only to Patreon members, and you will love it. It is our 3-wave trading technique outlined in book form. Check out the Patreon page. Let's jump into these charts. Like I said, the S&P is down today, 0.25%. Look at it on the half-day chart when it started crashing on Friday the 27th. Of course, we've been out one day this week because of New Year's Day, but things have, of course, started down again. Look at all the indecision in the morning, although we didn't have average volume. We did in the afternoon, where it jacked on down. Look at the 2-day chart. This is the first day of the latest 2-day candle. It's close to half of average volume, but way off from that prior volume. So we'll see what happens on Friday. Market going to buck up a little bit, maybe digest a lot of these gains, which it could do, and then roll back over. We can see where it digested gains and then popped up only to crash back down again. And again, we have that weight of this continuing down move. Of course, we've hit a lower low this week. We didn't last week from that initial week with all that energy and all that investor sentiment in the down move where it could not sustain the prior week highs. So when you see things like that happen and you understand the interplay between volume and price, then you understand the investor psychology. Sometimes it's not readily available, but again, look for it. When you see it, use it. Where are we on the NASDAQ 100? Well, we saw the same thing there with some price seeking, but it was a green spinning top. It took it another week with almost average volume and a lot of lackadaisical attitude. You can see a doji there means what? Lots of indecision. Couldn't sustain that price and then rolled over hard this week. In fact, that started like the S&P last Friday, where on the NASDAQ, it moved up to the trend line and then fell off. So again, down again today. Again, looking to see what's going to happen on Friday. You can see all the volume here on the NASDAQ on this half-day chart. You can see all the volume like the S&P on that prior down 2-day candle. And you can see now it's complicated with volume here over these last 2 weeks. A lot of volume here we see on Christmas week. Again, why? Because we've missed a day, right? Each week. So we'll see. We may very well hit average volume again this week. So we'll keep an eye on things even with that missing day to see just how strong the pullback is going to be. What's up with 20-year U.S. government bonds? Well, they are up a little bit for the day. When I say a little bit, look at this half-day chart where things are sliding sideways. They have really moved down on the 2-day chart, and you can see where the last 6 days in particular, well, take that back, that's 7 days, where it's sort of been bottoming out here. You can see where things rotated over, popped up a little down, and then just sort of slid around the bottom. And as we look at things, we're not hitting lower lows. Are we finding a bottom here? Can't tell that yet. Could be. We'll keep an eye on bonds. Again, the only strong thing we've seen is that week of the 16th with a strong down move after things in bonds tried to bump up, then had that dead week with a red spinning top. Not a lot of volume there to help us out. So no real price discovery until things really hammered down back on the week beginning the 16th. But are they going to bottom here? We'll continue to watch, wait, and see. Some good news as far as gold goes. Last 2 days, gold has been pumping up. That is Tuesday. Of course, markets closed Wednesday and up on Thursday. And again, up big on Thursday for gold, 1.36%. Bitcoin, incidentally, was up also. You can see where gold back on the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th of December pushed up through the weekly trend line. You can see it during the week of the 9th. And then rotated right back over going down on the 2-day chart. First day of this latest 2-day candle is up. We'll see if gold sustains any of this move tomorrow or just rolls back over going down. Gold, when will it catch fire? Is it going to catch fire now? Of course, we had the classic gold rotation over where we had an interim high with what? Decent volume. Then the red spinning top, the telltale sign of a rollover with average or above average volume. Nice week where we captured one-time ATR on the 2-day chart. That's where we get our ATR reading from. And we had a nice profit there. The rest of it we just let ride along. So again, it's been long in the tooth here. Don't like that. Of course, you can cash out any time once you make your one-time ATR. We were hoping that this would really get to the business of rocking over hard, but has not yet. Let's look at GDX. What did GDX do for the day? Always interesting, gold miners. It was up also, not really up much yesterday, but it did pop up today, and it's pushing through the weekly trend line there. So we'll keep an eye on that. I'm curious, too. I always like to check out silver in relation to gold. What did silver do? Silver popped up, too. Still below that weekly trend line, however, on silver. So we'll keep an eye on gold, keep the powder dry, see which way it's going to go. But it was a nice up day. Lastly, Bitcoin a-booming. Now, we watched, if you remember on Monday, we saw Monday afternoon Bitcoin popping up. It popped up Tuesday morning, then bled off that energy Tuesday afternoon. And then, of course, when things resumed after the day off, things popped up rather nicely today. If we look at 24-hour-a-day Bitcoin, where we can see everything that Bitcoin has been doing, because the 24-hour-a-day Bitcoin chart, it doesn't stop a trading. And you can see where it started moving up on New Year's Day at 8 a.m. and has been constantly moving up since. It's always interesting to check out 24-hour-a-day Bitcoin. This is at one of those Bitcoin exchanges, Bitstamp, I guess. Again, I like to stick with HODL. You don't have to. This is again one of the Bitcoin ETFs that you can look at to track and trade Bitcoin. So again, important to make those kind of decisions. If you're going to trade Bitcoin through a Bitcoin exchange, you probably want to practice something like BTC USD. And that will, of course, give you the 24-hour-a-day Bitcoin chart that you can use. But as you look at the two, I want you to pay attention to the weekly chart. I'm going to go from the 24-hour-a-day Bitcoin to virtually the same chart, isn't it? It just has to play catch up every now and then. And as it played catch up today, it rocketed up 4.27%. So again, right there on that trend line still, we'll see what that means for us. We have a green candle forming right now on the 2-day. It could die tomorrow. Don't have a lot of volume to give us a lot of investor sentiment on the 2-day. We do see lots of volume on the half-day. And the weekly is weak as far as volume goes. So again, reach that high of highs back on the week beginning the 16th of December. Probably some profit taking place right now, and that's understandable. That's where we are, my friends. I will put that video at the end of today's video for you on volume. Please take your time, watch that, take some notes, pay attention to what we're talking about there. It will help you immensely. God bless. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.